It's April 13th, 2026, and we're at the beautiful street market in Nishal, and I'm one win away from getting Master Rank. That's me playing Ryu on the right there, and it's been quite the journey getting to this point. But how I got here isn't the only question you should probably be asking. How many games did it take? What was I thinking at this particular moment? Why Ryu? And maybe perhaps most importantly, why is the game in Japanese? That last question is an easy one to answer, but the rest of them have a bit more of a nuance to them. And in order to explain this nuance in proper detail, we need to take a trip down memory lane. First off, let's answer the question of why Ryu. Well, Ryu is one of the most recognizable video game characters of all time. He's the face of the franchise, he's extremely iconic, and he's really good in this game. Ryu does truly bonkers amounts of damage, like an unfathomable amount, and this is no accident. At the beginning of Street Fighter 6, Ryu was okay, but over the past 3 years, Ryu has been getting steady buff after buff after buff. He didn't used to do this much damage, but now he does, and it's really fun to use. Let's take a combo for example. I'm not sure which one, let's just say maybe the crouching medium kick drive rush combo you just saw on screen. This combo does a ton of damage. Get someone into a corner like I did here, and it does even more damage. He can get all of this from just a crouching medium kick, which is a move you can just throw out whenever and you're probably going to be fine. To put this into perspective, let's look at my opponent Zangief. Zangief's many things, a movie star, a gentleman, and he's also a grappler, which means he likes to get in close and then hit you with an unblockable grab called the command grab. This is the core of Zangief gameplay. He has a really powerful move that if he hits, it's going to do a lot of damage, but if he misses, it's going to leave him very vulnerable. He has a face that I would if my one trick just didn't work in the moment. Zangief's command grab is going to do anywhere from 2500 damage to 3300, depending on which one you use. Ryu's combo, in contrast, does 2179 damage. If you tag on a level 3 though, it goes to over 4000 damage. Do it in the corner and it does even more damage, going over 4600 damage, which is just crazy. Tag on a CA instead of a level 3, it does even more damage. In a game where most characters only have 10,000 health, doing half of that in one combo? That's insane! Ryu's damage versus effort equation is outlandish. Truly bonkers. And a large reason why I chose him, though not the only one. And oh, look at that. Lily's also a grappler. Curious. Well, anyways. Another reason I chose Ryu is because he's what's known as a shoto. And a shoto is a type of archetype in Street Fighter 6. Shotos generally have a fireball projectile, an anti-air known as a dragon punch, and a crouching medium kick drive rush combo, as which we talked about ad nauseum. Learning shotos can be pretty rewarding, as once you learn one, you know most of the skills to play the other shotos, and Street Fighter 6 has a good amount of them. But learning Ryu really wasn't that easy. I had played a little Jury before, but the main character that I played before starting my journey with Ryu was Manon, and going from a grappler to a shoto was not an easy transition. I know I kinda went on that whole explanation about how Ryu's just flat out better than Zangief in most situations, but the cool thing about playing any type of grappler is that the game plan is really simple. Catch an opponent off guard, and you hit him with a command throw. An opponent uses an unsafe move, command throw. Unsure of how to make progress in the position? Well, just DI and then command throw. When I was playing as Ryu, sometimes I really struggled with what to do next. I didn't exactly know how to play neutral, and yeah, I understood punish counters, but I didn't really understand the situations that I needed to create in order for them to happen, at least very easily. So I did my placement matches. I got placed in the Diamond 1, which is as low as you can go if you already have a character in Master. I quickly fell to Plat 5 and then actually down to Plat 4 briefly, but this wasn't super shocking. I didn't know how to DP, I didn't really understand when to use fireballs, and I certainly didn't understand the power of a crouching medium kick character go green. But after many hours in the training mode and talking to some of my friends who understand this game a lot more than me, I was able to get back into Diamond and even end up at Diamond 2 not super long after I started. Around Diamond 2 is when progress started to slow. I was improving, but it didn't really feel like I was improving very quickly. My fireballs were getting better, but my anti-airs were still needing a lot of work. I was kind of starting to understand the power of a low move canceled into drive rush, but it was still in its infancy. My biggest problem, however, is that I just couldn't sit still. Put as simply as possible, Street Fighter has a couple of different phases. There's neutral, where neither player is actively attacking and are looking to start their turn. There's the player's turn, which is where the player is attacking and the opponent is either blocking or getting hit. And then there's the opponent's turn, where the opponent is attacking and the player is either blocking or taking damage. Now, the smart thing to do when it's your opponent's turn is just to keep blocking and wait for their string to end. Hopefully the combo ends in neutral and then you can get your chance to start your turn. But, let's just say I see turns as more of a mindset than a core concept. If you want to steal your turn back, good news, you can. You just have to use an invincible move that has no startup. Remember that Dragon Punch I was talking about earlier? You can use some of your drive meter to turn that move into an invincible reversal with no startup. Ryu's level 1, 2, and 3 super are also invincible reversals with no startup. Using an invincible reversal to try to steal your turn back has its problems though. Your opponent can always just block, and if they block, you're extremely open for a counterattack. Furthermore, if you do it too much, you become predictable and everyone's going to expect what exactly is going to happen in case you get knocked down. Playing like a maniac and mashing out either a DP or a super whenever you get knocked down, or it's otherwise not your turn, is not something I'd really advise for anyone. But getting good at mashing out level 3s is a valuable skill, and sometimes it's the only thing that can save you. This is the first game of the set, and I'm burnt out and in a bit of a tough spot. Lily's about to hit me with a DI. I can't block it at this point. I've already committed to my donkey kick. I have no drive gauge for an EXDP, so all hope is lost, right? Well, about that. See, the cool thing about this donkey kick is that it can be canceled into a certain move. Which move is that, you ask? Well, you know, I'm not really sure. It might just, it could be any move actually. Who really knows, truly? I genuinely can't recommend anyone play like this, but it's really satisfying. Let's have a listen. Get out of here! Oh! Don't you ever talk to me or my son again. It's always my turn. This style of all gas, no brakes, it's always my turn can only get you so far. Diamond 5, in fact. Let me explain. 1 week in Diamond 2, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I ate my Wheaties, I don't know if I got an extra good night of sleep, but I was just feeling it. In 3 days, I went 37 and 13, going from high Diamond 2 to Diamond 5. This was wonderful. This was great, actually. I was feeling great, I was playing pretty good, and, you know, it was always my turn. What's not to like? Well, that style of play can only get you so far. Eventually, I hit a wall. Over the next week of playing, I went 21 and 59. I was getting my doors blown off, and I didn't even know why. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. I mean, refusing to wait for my turn is probably a large reason why. But this is also around when Alex was released, and Alex really punishes people who don't wait their turns. Long story short, Alex can create a lot of situations where it seems like you have an opportunity to take your turn back, but you actually don't, and if you try to, you're gonna end up in a bad position. Alex wasn't the only reason I was playing poorly, but he certainly was a big reason. Regardless, the Wildman strategy wasn't working. By the end of this massive losing streak, I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Should I just try a different character? Should I accept defeat and learn to wait for my turn and block when I get up? Or should I take a break, come back, and then change the game's language to Japanese? I'll let you figure out which option I chose. And after a number of days, I was feeling pretty good. I kind of felt back to normal. When I started my session on the 13th, attempting to get into Master Rank wasn't even really on the docket. I was halfway through Diamond 5, and I didn't want to play the amount of games that it would take to get me to Master Rank that day. But a neat thing about Diamond 5 is that sometimes you play against people who are already in Masters. If you lose, you don't really lose any more amount of points than you would normally, but if you win, you get a ton of points. So as soon as I saw this Master Rank Lily come up on the screen, I knew I had a chance. You've already seen the results of the first match, and that got me 1 win away. The second game was a bit of a back and forth, but I didn't end up winning it. This didn't really shake my confidence, but it did make me kind of scared that if I won this third game, I still wouldn't have enough points to get into Master Rank. But that's not a calculation to be made in the moment. The next game started, and both me and Lily were feeling a little bit of nerves, it seemed like. At least I was anyways. Neither of us was really getting the combos we wanted, and we were both kind of just dancing around each other, waiting for someone to make a move that could then be punished. I got burnt out on block, and then Lily got burnt out on block as well. And the first round ended in a pretty simple way. I just kind of hit her with a couple of anti-airs, and then I did a couple of throws. And, you know, when the opponent's in burnout, you may as well try to punish him with as many fireballs as possible. Oh, and throw in a hard read DI every now and then. That's always fun. In the second round, I was playing off of just pure instinct. I was sweating, I was shaking, I wanted this so bad. If I win here, win now, I go straight to Masters. If I lose, I'm gonna have to spend who knows how many hours still grinding in Diamond. But I've hyped, rewound, and explained enough. Welcome to a moment I won't forget. What am I doing?
Nice.
Oh, get the let's go! Please let that be it. Yes!
Ooh, I wanted this one even more than we know it.
Let's go! Oh, baby, that's another video. Let's go! Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I'm not really sure who the next character is going to be, but I'm thinking probably either Chun-Li or Ken, or maybe something else. I'm not really sure. But either way, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and thanks for watching. Until next time.